What's good, everyone? RagingYoshi here with another episode of Let's Play Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories. Previously, we defeated Trickmaster and completed Wonderland, and now we are going to go back into Castle Oblivion and see what we have in store.
Huh? What's the matter?
It's that creepy castle that I was talking about earlier. I know I didn't imagine it. 'Cause that was the castle where Sora had to use the Keyblade to free Kairi's heart. Then he just disappeared, and I was so worried. How could I ever forget that?
Oh, it was when I turned into a Heartless. Wait, that happened in a castle?
You forgot that? 'Cause I remember perfectly.
Then what's it called?
That's easy, it was. Somebody help me. Is it in your journal?
Every word. I finished the first volume right before we got to this castle. Now then, if I can just find it... Oh, here we go. Let's have a look. Oh, how could it be?
What's the matter?
Oh, my entries, they're gone. Every page is blank.
What do we do?
How could this have happened? I'm so careful with the journals. All that hard work is gone.
The journal's blank. What's going on?
I'm not gonna lie, I just feel terrible for Jiminy in this moment. You could see it actually tears him apart, all that work gone. But I digress. So we have another cutscene coming up, so I'm really only talking for just a moment.
Something screwy. Journal pages don't just vanish.
What if it's more things?
Huh?
Goofy was telling us about another castle we'd been to, but none of us really remembers it. Do you think? Could it be that we don't remember because we're losing our memories?
Losing our memories?
Hold on. Remember what that mystery fella said? In this place, to find is to lose, and to lose is to find. It must have been our memories he was talking about losing.
So if we keep going, we'll lose more. Guess it really is Castle Oblivion.
So the higher we go, the more we'll forget. Does that mean everything and everybody will be forgotten?
Riku and Kairi too.
Do you want to go back?
Don't worry, fellers. We might forget about where we've been or what things we've seen, but we won't forget who our friends are.
I don't know.
Come on, Sora. When you turned into a Heartless, did you forget about me and Donald?
Of course I didn't.
There you go. No matter what happens, you won't forget your friends.
Oh. You're right. Thank you, Goofy.
So if there's nothing here that can make you forget about your friends, Then we have nothing to be scared of. Let's go!
But when I turned into a Heartless, who was the one who took forever to notice and kept clobbering me?
How come you couldn't forget about that?
Well then. Yeah, isn't it so nice to see how comically our characters interact and how cute they are? I didn't know where I was going with that statement. I said comically and got really confused. But that being said, we are on floor 3 of Castle Oblivion, meaning our next floor that we're going to be venturing off, I've decided is going to be, wait for it, Agrabah. Now, I'm going to take a moment to explain how the different floors of Castle Oblivion work, seeing as we can go to any world in any order. Because it might seem like, oh, well, if I didn't do these worlds in this exact order, I could have gotten a much harder fight a lot earlier. But that's actually not the case with how this works. So, the way the worlds work is you enter whatever world you put on a floor is scaled based off what floor you're on. So, I guess the best way to put it is we did Agrabah. We did Agrabah on floor 3. If we had done it on floor 2, the enemies would have been easier. Had we done it on floor 6, the enemies would have been harder. So the strength of our enemies is based heavily off of what floor we're actually on. So that's kind of how they do that. With each section of cards, you can literally do it in any order and it doesn't make any major difference. But that is not important at this point because... wait for it. Wait for it. Okay, so we're in battle now. And so, I'm going to take this moment to talk about how Agrabah has several new enemies. So, first off, well, actually, we don't actually see any on screen right now. I'll talk about them as they appear, because Agrabah actually has 6 new enemies that we haven't seen so far, I believe. Unless we saw air soldiers over in Wonderland, but I honestly can't remember. But so, getting started, we have bandits. Bandit Heartless are fast attackers. They kind of attack you from across the arena. They can fly across with this little flipping attack. Does a lot of damage and can catch you off guard because, as you see, they're like whisking by me. Next, we have Green Requiems. Green Requiems, they're the green floating Heartless that we see. They heal you. They heal enemy Heartless, so they can be really, really dangerous. We have Yellow Operas, which are basically like the Green Requiems and all the other colored music Heartless. Just these ones deal with electricity. We also have Air Soldiers, which I mentioned previously. I can't remember if they were in Wonderland or not, because it was a while that I recorded the commentary for that. Otherwise, Air Soldiers are just really annoying and strong and can be kind of scary. And lastly, we have Fat Bandits. Fat Bandits, they are similar to large bodies in that they cannot be attacked from the front. They can take a lot of hits, have pretty large HP bar. I need to learn how not to hit the R1 button to lock on to stuff because that's not what works in this game. And yeah, no, the Fat Bandits aren't too scary. They're just annoying at most. But as you can see, we kind of wound this scripted fight down. And we got a Looming Darkness map card. So, with this level up, we get the Slight Strike Raid. Strike Raid, we use 3 cards who have a total value of 24 to 26. They must all be attacking cards, which means any Keyblade card. And so long as their total value is within that area, we will get Strike Raid. When Sword is Strike Raid, he will basically just throw his Keyblade out in a straight line and stun anything he hits. But, that being said, we have completed the battle, and now Aladdin is going to use his first wish to get rid of the Heartless, because we are totally incapable of defeating them ourselves. So, I'm going to be completely honest. This is my opinion of this scenario. I think Aladdin is a complete and total idiot here. He had absolutely no reason to use that wish. Why? Just why would he waste a wish like that? It doesn't make sense to me. I guess he saw a logic behind it. I don't. I still don't. I won't. But etc. Yes, we've used our first wish. And Goofy's just sitting here going Garsh for so long. What was I paying attention to that I didn't realize that was sitting on the screen for that long? I don't even know. But so, well, I'm really good at advancing text. But so, yes, we have used the magical power of the genie of the lamp. And even though Donald's like, oh, you could have done that from the beginning, Aladdin says it's simply not that simple. Blah blah blah. If you ever seen Aladdin, you know this whole stick. You only get 3 wishes in Ixnay on the wishing for more wishes. No, so blah blah blah. Substitutions or refunds, etc. 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 I have to admit, in the movie Aladdin, Genie is probably my favorite character. He's a really, really cool character. Really, really fun. Robin Williams did a great job with that part. Like, I don't think anyone could ever replace him as Genie, even though someone tried, but yeah. Continuing onward, though. Yes, we are now in Agrabah, and we are now going to go around with Aladdin, and I'm waiting for this to advance because there we go. We now have the key of beginnings. So, a lot of these worlds are going to follow a very similar trend. There might be a couple exceptions of this later down the line, but at least for early worlds, I'm going to do more or less the same thing. I am going to be fast forwarding a massive quantity of these videos. Why am I fast forwarding so much? Because this is going to be just a lot. And I mean a lot of me just kind of grinding at points, because I need to fight these enemies to level up, but you're just going to get very, very repetitive fights. I think there's actually one more new enemy that we haven't been introduced to yet, and I think we're going to fight it in a moment or so. There we go. These are barrel spiders. Barrel spiders can be encountered by hitting the barrels that are on the field. They will sometimes turn into barrel spider heartless, which can be destroyed. Blah blah blah. They're not that dangerous. If they get their tackle successfully, they explode. If you care what the song is, it's at the top of the screen. It's a day in Agrabah from Kingdom Hearts 2.5 HD Remix. So, essentially, it's the same song that plays in this world, but I'm using the remix of it because, you know, the remix, they did a lot of orchestral versions of the songs, and they sound really, really nice. I like it. So, if you're paying attention, you might have seen something strange occur in that battle. But before I talk about the thing that's strange, we're going to talk about our friend cards. So, once you go into specific worlds, you will get an additional friend card to Doll and Goofy. Now, before I actually say anything else, there's actually an extremely low chance that you'll get a Pluto friend card that can appear. But we're not going to talk about those because they're so rare that in this entire playthrough, I didn't see any. But blue front cards are useful, just I didn't see them ever. But so, right now, we're not going to see too many of them. In a little bit, we're going to see a ton of them. And so, I'm going to talk about what I ended up doing with these friend cards as I got them. Or specifically, the Aladdin one. So, ideally, I would have wanted to use the Aladdin friend card. The Agrabah World card when I used Wonderland. I ended up using Wonderland because the first 2 worlds I just played through recorded pretty fucking long time ago. Like, I want to say back in November, maybe longer. I'm thinking it was back in November. It was a while ago though. So I kind of just don't really have them anymore. Well, what am I saying? That didn't make sense. I recorded them so long ago that I couldn't go back and redo them to explain the thing that I'm going to explain in just a moment. I'm waiting to get to the next room because I want to explain the room card with what I'm going to be doing. But yes, clearing out wave after wave of Heartless. I am going to be neglecting my HP for a long period of time in this game. But so right now I'm using the room card of Meeting Grounds. What does Meeting Grounds do? Meeting Grounds makes it so at the beginning of fights, you are guaranteed to get a friend card. So, what am we doing with these friend cards? I'm looking for Aladdin's. Because when Aladdin comes out and attacks enemies, he causes them to drop Moogle points. So, doing this, I'm actually able to grind egregious amounts of Moogle points by going into battles, getting an Aladdin card, and using it. Now, I don't do what I'm about to say now, but let's say I get into a battle and I don't get an Aladdin card. Okay, I get this Donald card. We can leave the battle and then try to fight the enemy again. Because unfortunately, each room you make has a set number of Heartless that will spawn in it based on what room card we've used. So Meeting Grounds, I think, are mediums. I want to say they're medium-sized rooms, or they have a medium enemy spawn room. So it means you'll get an okay number of Heartless, but not a ridiculous, egregious amount. So really good roads because you get a 1 in 3 chance of getting an Aladdin card at the start, and there's a chance you'll get another one not too long after. And if you position your Aladdins correctly, you'll just get these destructive Aladdin attacks that drop tons of Moogle points. If you see, my Moogle points are rising very quickly. I think a little bit I had like 300. A little bit ago I had like 300. I keep skipping words in my speech. I don't understand why. But I digress. It's also good to get these first strikes. Another card I like to use when grinding, whether it be levels, map cards, or trying to get Aladdins and Agrabah, I like using... what's the card called? I like using Strong Initiative. What Strong Initiatives do is, the damage we get off of our first strikes in the combat are increased significantly. To the point where if you get a first strike and then combo everything in the room, you'll usually kill it. And if you're in a room that doesn't spawn a lot more Heartless after that, it's quite a beautiful thing. But I digress. We're not using Strong Initiatives currently. We're using Meeting Ground, and honestly, I really like the Meeting Ground strat. It's really nice. If you hear my voice get quieter, it's purely because I turned away from the mic for half a second. I wasn't thinking about it, I just realized. Also, while I'm talking about my mic, I do think that I fixed some of my audio issues that were occurring previously. Hopefully, we no longer get any big problems from my audio, like skipping and me losing words of speech randomly. I don't know why that was happening. I'm contributing it to the headset that was used to record that series of videos, because I want to say I recorded those on with my actual headset and not my area mic. And so, why did I pull up? I don't know. I think someone said something to me. But yeah, that's pretty annoying, I'm not gonna lie. But that even happened. But, as you see, we're getting just large amounts of Moogle points. Got some more CP for Sora. Yeah. You're gonna see me pulling up the map pretty frequently to check where I am, because I lose track of where I am on this map frequently. So what are we using these Moogle points for? We're using it to buy massive amounts of cards from the Moogle rooms. Now, I'm going to, as a warning, say something when I go into this Moogle shop. When I use it, I'm buying all attack cards, like, exclusively. Like, 100% exclusively. I'm just buying attack cards. Like, wait for it. I get a pack. Why are we waiting for so long? What in the world is going on that I'm sitting here for an egregious amount of time? Because this is playing at double speed, so I'm sitting here twice as long as sitting here with us. Why am I There we go. So, what I end up doing is I just buy all attack cards. You should not do this. You should buy attack cards and magic cards. Why? Because the more of these types of cards you unlock as you play, the more different cards that become available. You see, I bought some packs here, and as you see, I'm getting all fires and blizzards. That is what I want. For tricks I try to do later in the game, having a lot of fire and blizzards, regardless of the numbers, are really useful. But unfortunately, I did not do a good job at keeping track of how many fires and blizzards I had. I did not think that I was going to use it, so I didn't care about trying to do it. But would have probably been a good idea. That being said, we are sitting here just setting up another deck using more cards that I like. I'll be honest, I don't use key cards less than 5 unless they're zeros. So this, I guess, I would call my safe deck. I'll call it safe because a solid number of offensive cards, a 0, 2 heals, and 2 reloads. Although I probably shouldn't have placed the 0 while I did. I probably should put the reload in front of it, but that's fine. Not really a big deal. Here we're in a calm bounty room. Calm bounty rooms, they are rooms where you just get a chest in the middle. Every world has a special treasure you can get from a calm bounty room. So for this world, it was the gravity bounty, which means now if we were to buy magic cards, the gravity are now thrown into the mix, which is bad. You see where I'm getting at? I should have been doing that from the beginning. I should have not opened the chest in the calm bounty, because later I'm not quite going to have enough. Well, I'm kind of going to have enough fires and blizzards to do what I want to do, but I could have been better off had I done this right. Oh wow! Why did I save here? I don't remember. That's really weird to me that I saved there, but I digress. We have found the room we need to go to the key beginnings, so our fast forward is going to end now. Which means something is going on. What is it? I don't know. But so, the story of this world is kind of... I don't know. I don't know how I'd want to describe these stories. The stories aren't that different from the actual movies, but like they put like this random more emphasis thing on memories. I guess the best way I can put it is the characters are all acting in character. They do a very good job at keeping everyone acting how you would expect them to. But at the same time, it's like the stories kinda sorta run parallel to... Oh god, that yawn. It kind of sort of run parallel to what occurred in Kingdom Hearts 1, which isn't bad, but it's like the story doesn't do anything special. I guess is the best way I can describe this game. This game could have probably done a lot more with these stories. Which you're probably going to hear me repeat that as many worlds as we get through. And by get through, I mean all of them, because at this point in time, actually, I've recorded every video for this project. There is nothing that hasn't been recorded, and I've recorded each section individually. So I'm gonna be honest about something because I have a little bit of time. This is the second time I've tried to do this project this way, but the last time I did it, I recorded everything in like 5-hour chunks, and all but one chunk was completely corrupted. It was pretty awful, I'm not gonna lie. It made me sad, it made me cry. It's the reason why I have the video card I have now. I mean the capture card I have now, because I got rid of the old one and replaced it with this wonderful, wonderful Elgato, which I'm probably going to upgrade sometime in the relatively near future, but we won't talk about that because that's neither here nor there. But yes, no, the world stories really leave a lot to be desired. And I think we have a little bit more gameplay in this video. Because at this point, I've opened up all the worlds I want to run through. So now all I really need to do is just get to the doors. I saw all the I said all the worlds I wanted to go to. All the rooms, because I made a meeting ground, and then I made a bunch of other rooms that were like, what was it called? I made a bunch of other rooms that were like just Moogle room, com bounty, and a save point room. So it's actually very easy for me to just go, okay, boom, 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 from one room to another to another. Although probably would have been a good idea for me to do more Moogle point grinding. Probably a lot more Moogle point grinding. Because I think at this point I've done it at least once or twice. If you run up to the door of a room and use the reaction command with it, you can use that door to go over a room that you've already made with a new card and reset the room, as well as resetting its heartless limits, which is pretty useful. But I have gone over my time for this video, so I'm going to end off here. I hope you guys have a good one. Peace, peace, and deuce, deuce. See ya!